Welcome to video number 4, Report Creation. How to quickly create free reports that people will love. So now here's a quick confidence booster before we get into the actual process of building and writing and creating a report. All right. First thing you need to understand is that you are not a report creator, okay? You're not. Creating is hard, and that's not what you're doing. What you are is a report compiler, okay? Compiling reports is very easy. Creating reports is very hard. Get that into your head, okay? It's going to make things a lot easier for you, and because you won't stress out, because all you have to do is assemble the information rather than create the information, okay? Here's an example. So what would be harder? To write a John Grisham style novel or to write a research paper on psychology? Now, neither one of them sounds really fun to me. However, the research paper on psychology would be much easier because all you have to do is go out and research the topic of psychology and compile that information into a report or into a research paper in this case. Whereas a John Grisham style novel, you got to come up with everything from the topic to the characters to everything that goes into a novel. You got to create that from scratch. Now that is hard. Writing a research paper, compiling a report, compilation is much easier than creation. All right, so think of yourself as a report compiler, and you'll have a lot or much easier time mentally going through the process of creating your reports. All right, so here's some basics. You want to create short, to the point reports that are on a specific topic, like we discussed in the previous video. They must provide quality, useful information. No crap. Don't hype them. Don't fill it full of useless run-on sentences that don't make any sense. Provide quality information. You're building a reputation here, and you're trying to build a business, so provide quality information. Pure content here, too. No sales pitch, no selling. We're not going to hard sell them. We're not going to recommend anything. We're just going to do pure content, pure teaching, pure information, okay? And the target length for these reports is 1,000 to 2,000 words. If it's a little less than 1,000, that's fine. If it's a little more than 2,000, that's fine. If it starts getting up to 3,000 or 4,000 words, you probably ought to think about selling that as a report because it's so much more detailed than just giving it away as a free report. But they're not really hard. 1,000 to 2,000 words is like 3 regular articles or so. It's not hard to write at all, okay? Especially since it's all on the same topic. And this is roughly a 4 to 8 page content piece, okay? That doesn't count, like your title page and your disclaimer and that kind of stuff. It just is the content, all right? They don't have to be long. See, 4 to 8 pages is nothing, okay? And that's with formatting, 4 to 8 pages. So you've got white space and everything else taking up more room, so it's not a lot and it's not hard to do. First thing is to create a great title for your short report. The title of your report plays a huge role in whether or not your free report will be a hit or not, whether people are going to read it. A strong title also helps you to focus the content of your report by telling you what your report is about. Therefore, you should always come up with a title to your report before you dig into writing the main content. For free reports, that's an awesome way to do it. For big products that you're creating, you might want to title it later, but for when it comes to free reports, titling the report first is the way to go. It's so much easier if you do it that way. So we're going to create titles using the ABC method, all right? First, it's accurately represent, build interest, and communicate benefits. Does the title accurately represent the topic? Does your title mention specifically what's included in the report? What are people going to get when they open your report? Example, how to vacation isn't very specific, whereas how to plan a vacation is better, but it's still a little vague. Now, the best one would be how to plan a vacation in 3 easy steps, and that's a much better title, all right? However, here's some other examples. Ways to save money at the gas pump isn't nearly as specific as 21 ways to save money at the gas pump, or the top 7 ways to save money at the gas pump. Those are much more specific and much more, much better at drawing a picture in the mind's eye of what the report is about. So does the title build interest? Is your report appealing and even enticing? Here's an example of what I'm talking about. How to plan a vacation in 3 easy steps isn't nearly as appealing as how to plan a fun-filled, budget-friendly vacation in 3 easy steps. Now, that title isn't even as intriguing as how to take the vacation of your dreams without spending a penny. Make it a benefit-related, interesting, and exciting headline as your title. That's what you want. The more interesting it is, the more likely someone's going to open it and read it, and therefore, the higher the chances of you making some money. Third, does the title communicate benefits? When someone reads the title of your report, do they have a reasonable expectation of some desirable results they can achieve by purchasing, reading, and then applying what's in your report? Okay, free reports that scream ultimate benefit are the most appealing, simply because we are emotional creatures. Here's an example. Earn income on the web doesn't offer nearly the benefit punch that Get Web Profits Fast does. Okay, now note the difference. One says income, the other says profits. We want money we can spend, okay? Income sounds like you have to do something to get it, whereas profits just seems like it comes to you, right? One says earn and the other says get. Earn seems like work, and it's much harder to do than to get something. And one doesn't promise a win, and the other says fast, which gives a actual time of when it's going to happen. Fast. You see the difference between those two titles? Now, even though we're not selling these free reports, we are still using sales psychology to ensure that these reports are as desirable as possible. The more desirable they are, the more money you'll make. You also need to create 2 titles. Create 2 different titles for your report, the first one being a benefit-rich, catchy title for the report that you give away, using the ABC method like we just discussed. Okay, that's the main title of your report that you're going to distribute. Next, you need a keyword-rich and less glamorous title for the report that the search engines will find, okay? We're going to have this report show up on all the search engines, so you need to make sure the title is keyword-rich to what the topic is about, so that it gets ranked higher in the search engines, all right? Create these 2 titles now, and just keep the keyword-rich title handy, as it will be used later on. Now we're going to write the report. We're going to use the Pages system to write your report, okay? First is P. Plan out your report by brainstorming ideas. A. Arrange your ideas sequentially or systematically. G. Grow your content by filling in the blanks. E. Extract bullet points for your squeeze page while you write. S. Smooth out the rough spots to complete the report. Okay, let's go through them one by one. Plan out your report. You start by brainstorming ideas for possible inclusion into your report. The easiest way to do this is to simply list everything you can think of that relates to the topic of the report. I like to just open a Word document and make a bulleted list and just start brain dumping everything I can think of, okay? Or you can do it out longhand on paper if that's what you want to do. Just get it all down on paper. Don't filter. Just get it all down. All right, now here's an ultra powerful brainstorming exercise you probably haven't ever used, but it's very effective. It's called alphabetizing. So starting with the letter A, begin listing events, places, people, items, ideas, or whatnot that begin with the letter and that are related to the topic of your report. So the goal is to get all the way to Z. If you are writing a product that's related to traveling to Orlando, you might have A for airports, B for business travel, C for choosing hotels, D for dining, E for Epcot, F for free tickets, G for golfing, H for hotels, and so on and so on. What you're forcing yourself to do is think outside the box and trigger different portions of your brain to come up with more information that can be included in your report. As you're doing this, you'll be able to eliminate other things you don't want, but you'll also find yourself regurgitating more information and more things to include and finding more stuff that you probably wouldn't, or that wouldn't have been triggered had you not used this alphabetizing brainstorming method. Very simple to use. Just try it. You'll like it, I promise. Next, you need to arrange your ideas. Once you've finished brainstorming, there are 2 basic ways you can arrange your ideas. Your 2 options are sequentially or systematically, and we'll go through them both. So arrange your ideas sequentially. That is, you would organize your ideas in chronological steps. You would simply outline your report based on what comes first and then what comes after that. So step 1 is blank, step 2 is this, step 3 is this, step 4 and step 5, step 6, and so on, all right? Now here's a tip. I recommend that you keep the total number of steps to something in the single digits. No more than 9 steps. Anything more than that could be viewed as too much work or too complicated in the eyes of your readers, all right? The more simple you keep it, the better off it is, and for some reason, single digit has an appeal subconsciously and psychologically to the human mind, all right? You can also arrange your ideas systematically. Group ideas together based on their logical relationship to each other. Example. If your title is 5 Keys to Saving Your Marriage Now, then that's the basic framework for your outline. You divide things into sections or parts, or whatever you want to call them, and one for each of the 5 keys. So key 1 is a section, key 2 is a section, key 3 is a section, and so forth. All of your ideas would fall into one of your 5 keys. Another example, if you have a lot of different ideas, such as 101 homeschooling tips for first-time parents, then what you want to do is find 5 to 9 main topics to group them into. For example, tips for finding the right curriculum, tips for planning field trips, tips for creating a learning environment, and tips for social interaction, and then so on and so on. Once you create those categories, you combine the relevant tips into each one of those categories to help organize it nicely. Next step is to grow your content. By this point, you should have a nice outline created from all of your ideas. Now it's simply a matter of filling in the blanks. Write a few paragraphs of meaty information for each of your points listed in your outline. What I do is just a little bit of math. I take the total number of pages that I want and divide it by the total number of ideas that I've written down, so I can see how much I need to write for each point. Here's an example. Let's suppose I want to create a 5-page report on my topic. Now let's further suppose that I have 10 ideas that I've brainstormed to share in the report, and that I've arranged them into 5 different sections. Okay? So doing the math, we find that I need a half a page of content per idea in order to meet the page requirement. So I begin writing the first point, and when I've reached half a page, I know that I can quit anytime I finalize the thought I'm currently sharing. All right, that's an easy way to do it. Here's a researching tip. 4 ways to quickly research your content. This is really handy, okay, because sometimes it's hard to figure out what else needs to go in there, or you're not quite sure on a point, but you need to make the point. So these are some handy researching methods. Google it. This is super simple. Take the point, plug it into Google, and go with it. See what the results are. The top 4 results, you'll probably find your answer somewhere on the first page of Google. Just look for it. Next, go to niche-specific forums. Okay, so type in your niche, the plus sign, and the word forum, and see what is on the forums. You can also do a search once you're on the forum to find specifically what you're looking for. All right, really easy to do, and it's usually very good content because these are people who inhabit your niche forums are very interested and very engaged in their niche, and they usually have a lot of great information to share. 3, search Yahoo Answers. There's a ton of stuff on there. Go to Yahoo Answers, type in what you're looking for, and then just start browsing through the results. You'll find all kinds of information. 4th, public library. Nobody does this, but it's super easy, and I mean, heck, probably 75% of the population doesn't even have a library card. But if they did, they could really profit from it because there's so much information just sitting there in the library right at your fingertips for free. Okay, so go to the public library, find books on your topic, and then find the information you need. You could check out one book from the library and probably be able to write like 30 or 40 free reports based on the information you learn from one book. Okay, public library is super powerful. I use it all the time. Next step is to extract bullet points. Develop squeeze page copy, bullet points, as you write your content, okay? The squeeze page is an optional step that we're going to be using later. However, I recommend it. And if you extract the bullet points as you write your content, it'll be so much easier to write your squeeze page or to assemble your squeeze page later on, okay? So pay attention to what you're writing, and when a particular catchy or interesting point pops up, copy and paste it into another document to use when you create your squeeze page. Before you move on, you'll want to mold that point into a catchy bullet point while the thought is fresh in your mind. Here's an example of an extracted bullet point. So if I wrote, I use this same method to quickly take my affiliate earnings from $200 to $400 per month, okay, I would change the bullet point to the hands-down fastest way to double your affiliate commission checks. Okay, that's more benefit-ridden, it sounds better, it's more exciting, it's more interesting, okay? Here's another example. If I wrote, here's 3 easy ways you can earn with private label content, and here's 3 easy ways you can earn with private label content, and they only take about 2 hours per month to maintain. All right, I could change that to a bullet point that reads, 3 of the easiest ways to turn PLR content into your own multiple profit streams with only 30 minutes of work per week. All right, that sounds much better, and it's very powerful, and it's engaging, all right? Third example, if I wrote, I found this freeware tool by accident, and I've used it quite effectively to generate free traffic from the search engines, I could change that to, revealed, my own secret weapon for getting completely free search engine traffic without any tricks or gimmicks. Hint, you can download it from a freeware site, and virtually no one knows you can use it this way. That sounds pretty cool, right? And I'm just rewording the same information to make it sound more appealing as a benefit statement to use as a bullet point on my squeeze page. Finally, you need to smooth out the rough spots. Once you've written the content for your free report, you'll want to fine-tune it. There are 3 things that I recommend you do in putting on the finishing touches for your report. Number 1, pad. 2, polish. 3, proofread. Okay? To pad, look for areas of your report that need further explanation. Are there any areas that are not clearly explained? Are there areas that are noticeably weaker or just lackluster? Then if you find those areas, try to add in as many examples as possible to better illustrate the point. Then flesh it out a little bit more and make it just read better, okay? Toss in a few more tips here and there where needed to really round it out and make it a better report. Remember, we're trying to provide value here, okay? The more value, the better. You can add interview transcripts, quotes, research, and other bits of information to get the point across if you need to. It'll also add a little bit more meat and size to the report, okay? But if you don't need to add those, don't add them. Don't add fluff. No filler, no fluff, all right? Next is to polish, which is to dress up your report. Use different fonts to distinguish areas of your content. Change the colors. Use alternative styles such as boldface, italics, and underline. Indent the text where appropriate. Use bullet points, especially if you're doing lists. Insert headers, footers, and graphics, all right? Do all those things to make it look nice, like a PDF report that you've read, something that would be appealing to your eye. Just make it look nice, professional, clean. It doesn't have to be fancy, just clean and easy and aesthetically pleasing. Next is to proofread. The final smoothing out you need to do to make certain that it all works right is to proofread it. Look for typographic errors as well as grammatical errors. The best way to do this is to read your report out loud, all right? Better still, allow someone else to read your report and have them do the proofreading for you, because other people spot other people's mistakes better than you yourself do sometimes, okay? Now, quality of content is much more important than the quality of your grammar. However, it's still a good idea to put your best foot forward, all right? Now, that's all there is to it when it comes to creating and compiling your report. So let's recap this system really quickly, though, just to make sure it's all driven home. The first, you want to plan out your report by brainstorming ideas. Next, arrange your ideas sequentially or systematically. Next, grow your content by filling in the blanks. Next, extract bullet points for your squeeze copy while you write. And finally, smooth out the rough spots to complete the report. Okay, that's all there is to writing a free report. And if you follow this system, it's very easy. Now let's talk about packaging your free reports, okay? When it comes to packaging your free report, there are 2 basic things you want to address. The first, the content. What else goes inside your report? And second, the cosmetics. Basically just the appearance of your report. What does it look like? So the contents. In addition to the information of your free report, there are several other pages that need to be included in order to complete the construction of the report. First, the title page. Second, the legal page. Third, the special offer page. Fourth, the content section. Fifth, the back-end page, okay? And this is how they appear in order in your report, okay? So first title, then legal, then special offer, then content, then back-end, all right? Let's go through them one by one. The title page. This will include the title of your report, any subtitle you have, your author name, and possibly your website address. Contact information if you want it, and any graphic you may want to include. Graphics are optional, but they're nice, all right? If you don't want to spend the money on it, then don't worry about it. Next up is the legal page. This necessary page of your special report would include copyright information, disclaimers, and your usage rights, okay? Disclaimers are key, okay? People are sue happy, so you want to make sure you put some disclaimers in there. All right, now I've included a sample page for your use in the download files, all right? You can use it as is, or you can modify it to your heart's desire. It doesn't matter. One thing about the usage rights is basically you're just going to say you have giveaway rights to this report. You are free to distribute and give away this report to anybody in any way you see fit, all right? That's the usage rights that you're going to give them, because you want people to give it away. So if you give your report to somebody else, you couldn't be happier if they gave it to somebody else, right? So you want to make sure they know that they're allowed to give it to somebody else. Next is the special offer page. And now this is one of the biggest mistakes you can make in creating your free report, and that is to not include a special offer page, all right? So you may devote an entire page to the special offer, okay? Just an entire page if you want to, or a half a page if you don't need that much space, but make sure you put it in there. Now, 3 of my favorite ways to use the special offer page are a discount on a related product that you sell. So if you have a resale rights product or your own product or something like that, you could offer a special discount because they have your report. If they click the link here, they can get it for half price or 10% off or whatever discount you want to offer, okay? Next, a bonus offer for a related affiliate product. So let's say there's an affiliate product that converts really well that's related to the niche or the topic. Well, you could create a special offer where you give them a bonus if they buy the product through your affiliate link. And what you do is they click the link, they buy the product, and then you tell them where to email you a copy of their receipt, and then you send them a copy of the bonus. It's just a way to help encourage a sale right away up front. And third, a download link to a zip file with all your free reports. This is actually one of my favorite things to do. All right, if they've got one of your free reports, chances are they'd like to have more of your free reports. So why not provide a link where they can download all of your free reports without having to go looking for them? All right, and then there's all those other chances. Each report is another chance for them to buy something from you through the links in the back. All right. Next up is the content section. This is the report content, what you just wrote, the 4 to 8 pages of content that you just created. This goes right after the special offer page. Now, as we've talked about previously, this would be on average 4 to 8 pages with a maximum of 10 pages. Pure content, right? No sales pitch. Finally, the back-end page. There should always be some kind of back-end offer at the conclusion of your special report. Okay, guys, this is how you make your money with your reports. Okay, it's all about the back-end page, and it's not hard to do, all right? Now, this can be something as blatant as a full-blown ad for one of your high-ticket products, or something as subtle as a brief listing of your products. I prefer the brief listing of products, whether they're mine, affiliate products, or whatever, okay? The contents and layout of the page will be covered in the monetization video, so don't stress on it. We're going to go over this exactly how to create this page in another video because it's worth its own video and explanation. All right, so just know that you need to have a page in here for the back-end report at this point. Okay, so now we're looking at cosmetics. Appearance is very important, all right? It needs to look nice. If it looks like crap or it's hard to read, they're never going to go through it. So there are 8 things you'll want to do in order to sharpen the appearance of your free report as you finish up packaging their materials, all right? First, header and footer. Second, the margins. Okay, with header and footer, just make sure there's a header and footer. For the header, just put the report title in the header. On the footer, put your copyright information or your website address and your page number, okay? Nothing crazy there. Margins. Leave normal margins. Don't make thick margins to make the content seem longer than it is, all right? Just keep it regular. Don't pad it. Nobody likes padded margins. It looks, even though it's a free report, it makes it look like you're trying to pull a fast one on them, all right? Use fonts. Use different fonts to dress things up. Headlines. Use different headlines or subheadlines to distinguish between each section. Make them bigger. Okay? Indentations and boxes. Use them where you need them. Create boxes around special things to draw emphasis to it. Indent text where you need to. Make it look nice. Styles, italic, bold, that kind of stuff. Go ahead and use them. Make it look nice. I'm going to repeat that over and over again. The nicer you make it, the higher the chance they're going to buy something from one of your links, okay? Because they enjoy what they're reading and it's pleasant, it's aesthetically pleasing. All right, colors and highlights. Change the font color sometimes. Not all the text, just use it to emphasize certain things, okay? Highlight. Use the yellow highlight to highlight a specific point that you need to really make or that's something that's very important. And finally, add graphics, screenshots, and photos if they'll enhance the report. Don't add them randomly and don't add them just to add them. Okay, if they're going to help, great. If not, leave them out. Okay, now you've got everything you need to pick a topic, craft a killer title, research and write an informative report, and package it attractively. All that's left now is for you to take action. So get out there and write that report.